Which super prominent Houstonian once beat a congressman's ass with a walking cane for calling him a fraud? Plus, you won't believe what they almost built inside the now abandoned Astrodome. And I'm going to tell you where in Houston you can have a death and funeral themed birthday party or first date. That and much more here on this episode of The Hugh Life. Oh, the way our country is so polarized these days, you're going to get an absolute kick out of fact number one. But before I get into that, let me make a very big announcement. Our first full feature episode will be coming out Sunday, August 1st. Make sure that you've subscribed to the YouTube channel. That is where it's going to premiere first. Here are the 5 facts about Houston that will absolutely blow your mind. Sam Houston, our city's namesake, was a true Texan badass. For one, he ran off from Tennessee, great move, and a lot of people don't know this, but he was actually an honorary member of the Cherokee tribe. They in fact even gave him a nickname, Black Raven. During one particularly heated session in which Ohio Congressman William Stanbury accused Sam Houston of fraud, Sam Houston didn't take it too well. Afterwards, Sam Houston then confronted Stanbury out on Pennsylvania Avenue in broad daylight and proceeded to beat Stanbury down with his walking cane. At one point, Stanbury even pulled out his pistol, but the pistol jammed. This, of course, pissed off Houston even more, and he continued to beat Stanbury to a pulp. Houston went home, Stanbury staggered back to his hotel, and that was that. So, by no way am I condoning violence, of course, but come on, that is about as maverick Texas story as you can find. Houston's actually the largest city without any zoning laws, so it kind of makes for a free-for-all kind of weirdly laid out city. I mean, where else can you have a 1,000-foot skyscraper next to a waterfall, next to a Neiman Marcus, next to an adult sex shop, next to a 24-hour Starbucks? And this location is precisely where we all gather when we have to protest some of the most important causes in the world. Because that's how Houston does it. Many outsiders don't know, but Houston is famous for its museums. We have over 150 museums, and one of the strangest of all of them is probably the Museum of Funeral History. Their stated mission is to educate the public and preserve the heritage of death care. Now, within this museum, you can learn more about the wonderful uplifting things such as cremation, burials, the history of embalming. It actually makes for a fantastic first date. And the best thing is, if you go to their website and check them out, you can actually rent them out for birthday parties. The Astrodome. Well, many of you know that it was historic. It was called the 8th wonder of the world when it opened way back. But by 2001, a brand new stadium had replaced it. And by 2005, it really wasn't in use anymore and kind of fell into disrepair. So for the past 15 years or so, it's essentially laid there abandoned. And now, Houston has this tendency to knock down our historical buildings and build highways and Whataburgers right over them. But this time, the people of Houston and Harris County said, nah, not this time. We're gonna hold on to this historic relic of ours. But here's the problem. It costs about $400,000 a year just to maintain the building. And we can't figure out what to do with it. Among the many proposals for it have been an indoor amusement park, a movie studio, an indoor ski resort, a convention center, and get this, even a thought of flooding the floor of the Astrodome to recreate great naval battles of history. That's really weird, but it sounds kind of fun, and it is very Texan, so. And here's a teaser. As you know from the trailer, there will be an entire episode dedicated to the Astrodome in which I will try to get inside the Astrodome and show you what condition it is right now. Will I be successful? Find out during season 1. Okay, here is a fact. Houston is the most diverse city in all of America. Now, that is debated. It's debated by New York City, which I can understand. It's debated by Chicago. It's debated by Dallas because they have an inferiority complex. But the truth of the matter is, I've looked into this. Trust me, Houston is the most diverse city in America in many different ways. Over 150 languages are spoken here. And there's so much to talk about just on that topic, but I'm going to save it for the first full episode. So make sure that you do tune in on August 1st. And guys, finally, an honorary mention, fact number 6. This show would not be possible for the wonderful sponsors who put their faith in me and this particular show. And they are the Halal Guys of Houston. Lane's Chicken Fingers, now open in Katy. Also brought to you by the law offices of Omar Khwaja, who specializes in personal injury. Thank you all so much. I love you all. I can't wait for next week. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, invite your friends to like this page, and I will see you next week.